know he was calling me. He thought he'd been referred to a hot new consultancy by a friend of a friend at a golf retreat. "I'm losing my mind," he said on the encrypted line. I'd set up through a VPN in Sweden. Meridian's missing deadlines. Invoices 3 weeks late. The new account manager ghosted us after we flagged a $400K budget overrun. We're hemorrhaging trust with the board. I listened, said almost nothing, let him unload every frustration like a confession. Then I asked one question. "What do you need that you're not getting?" He laughed, bitter and tired. "Someone who gives a damn." I sent a proposal the next morning. No branding, no pitch deck, just a one-page PDF problem, misaligned incentives, zero accountability, death by committee. Solution, 90-day stabilization plan, flat fee, no retainers. Guarantee, if we don't save you 15% on Q4 spend, you pay nothing. He signed within 6 hours. I delivered in 82 days. Halbert's board sent a fruit basket the size of a toddler. I donated it to a women's shelter and took my first payment in peace. Word travels in boardrooms like smoke under doors. By month 4, Aurelia had 6 clients, all former Meridian accounts. None knew who ran it. None asked. They just wanted results. I hired slowly, surgically. Lila Chen, my old CFO, pushed out for being too conservative after she flagged. Daniel's creative accounting. Raj Patel, the lead strategist. Daniel fired for lacking vision. When Raj refused to fudge projections for a pitch. Sofia Morales, the junior copywriter who'd written every award-winning deck I ever delivered, now buried under Daniel's obsession with TikTok-friendly slogans. I paid them in equity and freedom. No titles, no politics, just work. We operated out of a co-working loft in a converted brick warehouse. No signage. Frosted glass, fairy lights, and a coffee machine that hissed like it had opinions. I wore jeans and sneakers. No one called me ma'am. They called me A. Only 3 people knew my real identity, and they'd never betray me. Lila still had the scar from the C-section. I'd driven her to when Daniel was too busy closing a deal to care. We didn't compete with Meridian. We absorbed. Every client we took, we studied, learned their pain, fixed it quietly, then asked, "Who else is struggling like you were?" Referrals became our oxygen. By month 8, Aurelia had 18 clients, 12 million in projected revenue and 0 debt. Daniel noticed, of course. Clients were leaving, not in droves, just enough to sting. Revenue dips, talent exiting, whispers in country clubs. "Have you heard of Aurelia? They're like the old Meridian, but better," he fought back. Lowered fees, flashy rebrand with neon logos, and the tagline, "Disrupt or die hired." A PR firm to spin youthful innovation. It didn't work, because Aurelia didn't play his game. We didn't need neon. We needed competence. 18 months in, Aurelia was bigger than Meridian had ever been under Daniel, not in headcount. The day my son took my company, the sun was too bright. It slanted through the blinds of the office. I'd built from a garage and 2 credit cards, painting gold stripes across the desk where I'd signed my first $1 million deal. I remember the smell, coffee, lemon polish, the faint metallic tang of ambition. Daniel stood across from me in a suit I'd paid for, hair slicked back, eyes steady in a way that made my stomach drop before he even spoke. "It's not your company anymore." "Mom," he said, voice flat, like he was reading a weather report. The folder he slid across the mahogany was thick with signatures, mine, mostly given over years of trust. "Late nights and just sign here." "It's routine," I laughed. A short, sharp sound that echoed wrong in the quiet room. Surely this was a prank, a test, a cruel joke hooked up with the marketing team. But his face didn't crack. The gold letters on the glass door still spelled Alina Meridian Strategies, but they were already lies. I was out. Majority shares transferred. Board vote unanimous. My own child had orchestrated a bloodless coup with a smile and a notary stamp. I didn't beg, didn't scream. I stood, smoothed my blazer, picked up the framed photo of us at the grand opening, him 12. Chocolate on his teeth, arms slung around my waist, and walked out. The elevator played the same soft jazz I'd chosen 15 years ago for client comfort. My reflection looked back, 55 graying bun, eyes too calm for a woman who'd just lost everything. I went home to the house by the lake, poured a glass of the Cabernet I'd been saving for his 30th birthday, and stared at the mantle photo until the edges blurred. Then I opened my laptop, not to rage on LinkedIn, not to call lawyers and burn it all down, but to vanish. For 3 weeks I became invisible. No posts, no emails to old colleagues, no tearful lunches with the girls from accounting. I let the world assume Elena Meridian had crumbled into Chardonnay and daytime TV. Let Daniel believe his mother was licking wounds in a silk robe, whispering how could he to the seagulls. He was half right. I was by the lake, but I wasn't drinking. I was building. I registered a new LLC under a name that meant nothing. Aurelia Consulting Group. Aurelia, like golden but distant. No sentiment, no trace. I used an old college friend's address in Delaware for the filing. Set up a virtual mailbox in Singapore. Hired a freelance designer in Lisbon to build a website so minimalist it hurt. White space, black text, one line, strategy without noise. Results without ego. No bio, no headshots. Just a contact form and a promise. We fix what others break. Then I waited. Not long. The first call came from Marcus Whitlock, VP of Operations at Halbert & Coders, our oldest client, the one I'd landed, with a handshake and a promise in 2008. Marcus didn't